So first off, the question that always lingers in my mind, even before, is that how do you find your life's purpose? Okay, so before we start talking about the life purpose, is that we should understand where we stand in this, not in our lives, but in this world, because I've treaded like the light and the dark, in spiritually wise and mentally wise. I have been manic, I have been depressed, I have been in euthymia? Is it euthymia? But anyways, stable mood. And one thing that I realized is that you should just feel things for what it is. You should not avoid it. Kasi, like, before, like, I always do, like, when I feel something, like, I feel horrible, or I feel angry, I try to cope, instead of actually just feeling it, And, because I do things to cope, it just does the counterproductive of what I'm supposed to, on what the goal is supposed to be. Like, for example, before, I always had this like really horrible binge episodes. Like, it like lasted for like a year and a half. It was really horrible because I avoided feeling horrible for what happened. Especially back in 2024, September, October 2024, because I always avoid those feeling horrible for that event that happened. I just coped. Coping is the problem, if that makes sense. If you cope externally, the external coping, for example, like eating, drinking, like distracting yourself, that is external coping. And external coping is the problem. Because, actually, I've read also like the Bible, right? Like, there always, you don't even need to cope externally if you have God. Or, if you pray to God, you journal, you put your thoughts in paper, you wouldn't even need to cope externally. As in, like, but anyways, back tayo sa topic, which is the life, finding your life's purpose. Thing is, there's literally no purpose in life. Yeah, there's literally no purpose in living. Everything is just absurd. Like, even before, like, I never felt validated with my awards, my grades. Like, I don't really care how high my grades are. 1.25, those things. I don't really care. As in, like, it's like, no external validation could make me feel so much better. I thought that was just me being condescending, or just me feeling extremely depressed. But I realized it's the reason why I feel that way is because it's absurd. Everything is absurd. Like, medals, achieving things in life is absurd. Like you, like, even though how much you achieve in your professional years, and then you hit that 55 a year mark in your life, and then you would just be reflecting on things like, what even is the purpose of me doing those things? I didn't even like doing those things. You know what I mean? I just found it really absurd. That's why, like, it was just so easy for me to say that I'm just not going to school anymore when things went down. Because, I just don't find the meaning in doing things. it's, by the way, it's a philosophy, okay, by Albert Camus. It's called absurdism. I've been joking about being the pioneer of weaponized absurdity philosophy. Weaponized absurdity as philosophy, because like there is like such thing as a weaponized absurdity as a political tactic. That's not what I want to my name to be attached with, but the weaponized absurdity as a philosophy. It's like using puns, using jokes to dismantle or to break the seriousness of everything. Like for example, being in Latin honors, like they find it so serious, but then for me it's just so absurd. Like even me as an IQ 184, like I didn't even achieve much in my life. Like I achieved the biggest achievement that I've ever achieved is UPCA and UP High since grade 7 to grade 12. That's all I'm proud about. And also overcoming depression and being in remission for bipolar. Anyways, yeah, everything is absurd. Like, so I've just been joking. I refuse to achieve Latin honors because I value honor over excellence. Because for excellence awards, everybody would do everything to reach excellence, okay? Like, the end justifies the means. Like, literally Machiavelli, he coded. That's not great. Machiavelli is good. Trust. But in the right places. But when it's applied in the wrong places, like, example, the social hierarchy, unspoken social hierarchy in school, like, that's literally Machiavellian. And they hated Machiavelli for being Machiavellian, the Machiavellian philosophy, but they're literally practicing it. But yeah, I love Machiavelli, but I'm more of Immanuel Kant. The ontological ethics. I'm not even utilitarian. I'm the opposite, which is the ontological. Yeah. I'm more on the purpose or the reason behind the action instead of the repercussion or the exertion of the action itself. Because it's all in the purpose. Why did you do that? But yeah, also on the other side, utilitarianism is basically like, it's all about the deed. Yeah, it's all about the deed, or it's all about the result of the deed. But the ontological is like, it's all about the purpose or the reason behind the deed. And I'm more of the ontological person. Although I do utilitarianism, but yeah, I usually do the ontological. But yeah. Okay, anyways, stop yapping anymore. Okay, bye!